Hello again from my front porch. It's a little bit chilly actually out here on the front porch. Well, a couple reasons it's chilly. The weather here, but also the weather where I just was. See, today, Thursday, is the only full day this week that I am in Iowa. I left Monday to go down to Orlando, Florida. And then came back Wednesday night. I was in Orlando to support a couple of members of my team who were doing a presentation at the Training 2023 conference down there, and they did a fantastic job, by the way. But then I got back last night, and there's no snow on the ground, no snow on the roads, no ice, no nothing. Everything's cleared out. But about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, it starts snowing, and it has not really stopped since. And it just keeps coming, and the wind is blowing out in the country, making the visibility low and the driving conditions dangerous. Schools canceled everywhere, lots of stuff shut down. I had taxes scheduled to do. I was going to go to my tax person that I've been going to for years. She's in a whole different community, and there's a lot of country between here and her office that would have been bad for me to drive in today, so I rescheduled the appointment. And so the one day I'm here in Iowa, and I'm pretty much just stuck in my house because I am not going to go out and interact with this stuff. You can say, well, lucky you, Paul. You're back in Iowa for the one day of snow. Yay, lucky me. But that actually is kind of what I thought, I got some time here, and I'm at home, and so I might as well do a front porch. Yeah, but this concept about being special, or more specifically feeling like I have arrived. That's really the direction I want to go. And it's a little tongue in cheek. Don't worry. This is not me getting woo. So the I have arrived. I wouldn't count the snow as part of that, but we'll go from there. So I've spoken at different conferences and things now, and done some webinars and wrote some articles and all this stuff about structure on the job training, the stuff that I wrote my book about. And because of that, I will get requests to consider being part of other conference events. Now, what generally happens is the organizers of a conference or an event will get the list of presenters from like the ATD conference that I speak at every year, and they will take that list and they will just spam everybody. They'll just send something there. Hey, you spoke at the ATD conference. We'd like you to speak at our conference. That's nice. It's okay. But I have a day job. I'm not some consultant that just runs around the country talking about stuff and those kind of things. So I have to weigh what makes sense for me logistically, work-wise too. Is there a value? Is there a benefit? Some of it is plugging the book, and still selling that thing, but a lot of it has to do with where does it make sense for me to actually do these kind of things, and so I ignore a lot of them for that reason. But recently, not long ago, recently being a relative term, I guess, I had an individual who had actually attended at my ATD session last year, and she and her husband were both there, and she just loved the book. She had just sang all kinds of praise about it. I even did a little interview with her to promote the book while I had her there. But she had told her husband all about what was in the book and how great it was and how smart I apparently was and all this kind of stuff, to the point that she wanted to take pictures with me like I was some big celebrity. He wanted to take pictures with me too, because after all she had bragged, he's like, I want a picture with this guy too. And so actually that was kind of a moment where I was like, it's kind of an I have arrived moment, when somebody is seeing you in that kind of light, which I don't see myself in that light, but okay, cool, all right, whatever. Well, anyway, the same lady reached out to me not long ago on LinkedIn because she was working with an organization that was looking at putting together a leadership program, leadership academy, that would be kind of a hybrid thing, some classrooms, some online, some different stuff. They wanted to do a big special launch, a one-day conference event kind of thing that really focused on this kind of stuff. And she wanted to know if I would be interested or willing to submit to be one of the featured speakers at this event. And of course, based on description alone, I'm like, ooh, this sounds good. See, I've arrived. Well, then it goes even better than that, because this event was going to be in Morocco. Yeah, Africa, Morocco, Africa. outside of the country. and she's wanting me to submit to be one of the featured speakers for the event. And I'm like, oh, the ego in Paul goes, ooh, this, But the practical side had to kick in and say, number one, they said they'd pay for a hotel, they'd pay for local travel, they'd pay for food, there, but I still had to get there. Well, I don't know if you've priced a ticket to Morocco, but they ain't cheap. And unlike some of those other people who are consultants and travel around doing stuff, I don't have a way to just write it off. I don't have a way to just say it's, well, I'll roll it in this expense. I have a day job. And, if my company was doing work in Africa or in Morocco, and it made sense for us to raise our visibility internationally in that way, then okay, well, maybe that would be something that I could leverage and work that way. But it's not the case. We're the largest concrete construction company in the United States. That's it. So that's not including Morocco. So I respectfully declined, but I was very flattered. And again, it's that I have arrived, because here it is, an international conference in another country, and they're not just spamming everybody saying, hey, could you come be part of this? This person is specifically asking me based on what she knows of what I already talk about, and having seen me present and wanting me to be part of that. And so that was flattering. I appreciate that, and I wish it could have worked out. And maybe there'll be more, but that's the keep an ego in check. That's really cool, Paul. Yeah, and it was one time. That's all. But so the next I have arrived kind of thing actually relates to my book. You remember my book, Learning While Working, Structuring Around the Job Training, available at fine retailers everywhere, Barnes & Noble, Amazon. You can also buy it directly through ATD, the Association for Talent Development, who's published the book. Excellent resource for you right here. Never miss a chance for a shameless plug. Anyway, this actually has to do with the book, because I was on eBay looking up stuff, searching for something to buy, and just happened to stumble across my book was out on eBay. That there was at least 3 entries for and one, well, first of all, it said the book was excellent, and I think maybe it meant excellent condition, but I choose to say they said it was excellent. But what's funny is they were selling it for like $68 or something like that. Well, you buy it you go to Barnes and Noble, or you go to Amazon, or you go to all those, and it's like $45. So it's cheaper to buy it brand new from those places than it is to buy it from that seller on eBay. But hey, if you're getting that kind of money from my book, more power to you. All right. Then there were a couple of other ones that were cheaper than the going price, and I can see where somebody would prefer that. One was from Goodwill. But hey, I think of how many times have I loaded up books that I don't use anymore, and I take them to Goodwill, and I always wonder, wonder what kind of people buy them. Well, now apparently one of my books has been in one of those loads that somebody took to Goodwill, and now Goodwill is selling it, making it available to somebody. And hey, it benefits charity, so why not? And so I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. But then there was a third one that was on. There was also a little cheaper than the retail price. And in reading the description of that one, it indicated that the book was inscribed to the original owner. So I half want to buy that one myself, or wanted to buy that one myself, just to see if I could tell who it was that it had the book. But still, just the concept that I have something, I have a book that is now out there enough that it's starting to even show up on eBay. That people have had it and now are selling it on eBay. Now, I choose to think that's because they want to share the wealth of knowledge. But anyway, but to me, hey, I'm looking on eBay, and there's something it's not just something that I'm selling on eBay, it's something I made. I wrote this, and it's selling on eBay. It's like, oh, that's cool. I'm right. I don't know why I think that's cooler than Amazon, but there it is. But then another way that I feel like I have arrived is because I finally got impersonated on social media. It's not like I'm fishing out that I want a whole lot more of it. But I see people sharing this stuff all the time. Celebrities, especially. Some celebrities that I follow on social media, every once in a while they will post and they'll list like multiple ones where these are other sites trying to pretend to be me. Please understand I am not related. I'm not connected to those. Don't buy anything from these people. Don't spend money with them. Blah 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 whatever. And so that's happened. But then I also just have general friends who, especially on Facebook, I will see, hey, I got hacked and, blah, blah, blah. And if you go look at this other profile, they're using the same picture. They've clearly copied somehow, downloaded or copied over a whole bunch of stuff from the original site. I have my Facebook a little more secured, so it's a little more difficult for them to do that kind of thing. And I'm very, very selective as to who I will friend request. I've still got over 800 some people, but I was selective in choosing them. Anyway, I was on social media. I was actually on Facebook, and my nephew Dylan messaged me and sent me a screenshot of an Instagram profile and said, "Hey, is this you?" And now my Instagram, well, the handle that I use for pretty much all my social media is Paul Smith ATD. Remember ATD, the people who published my book. So that's it's even my Gmail address. So my social media it's pretty easy to find me. Paul Smith ATD. Boom, there it is. But if you saw this other profile on Instagram, it had my profile picture, the same one that I use on my Instagram, and the name was Paul Smith ATD _. That little underscore made it different. Now it had, first of all, the clue that to anybody as to whether that was really me, it had 0 posts. Now come on. Like I would have a social media profile and there'd be 0 posts. Come on. But Dylan caught that. Thank you, Dylan. And asked me, and I was like, no, it's not me. I went and checked out. And there were a couple of individuals who had fallen prey to it. One was my brother, my youngest brother, Zine. And when I reached out to him and said, hey, just so you know, that profile, that's not me. He said, I wondered because I thought we were already friends. Well, yeah, we were. And so, fortunately, only 2 of my existing friends had signed up for that. I don't know if I should say fortunate or if that should tell me something that when my existing group of friends gets a request from me, only 2 of them accept. We won't go there. But still, it's like, oh wow, they say imitation, sincerest form of flattery, right? Well, somebody apparently felt that I was significant enough that I deserved to be duplicated. Well, I disagreed, so I reported them for impersonating me. And near as I can tell, the account is gone. I think Instagram took action. But I mean, as far as I know, they didn't do anything bad on my behalf, I hope. If you got anything from me and it seemed a little sketchy and concerning, I'm sure it was from that account. It could not have possibly been from me. We'll just go with that. That's actually not a bad idea. Create my own duplicate account so I can blame it. Oh, the mind wanders. Anyway, all right, so there you go. There's just some random examples of how I have arrived now. See, this is I'm becoming somebody because of these things happening. And now, again, I don't want to make light of the. I appreciated the offer to speak at the conference, and I don't mean to. I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea. I'm not making fun of that scenario. I'm still chuckling of that I was asked of all people. But so I don't want you to get the wrong idea about that at all. And I'm not making fun of people selling my book on eBay. It's whatever. I don't make any money off of that, obviously. Well, I don't make much money off the new one sold either, to be honest. But all of these are just things in life that happen, and they struck me as a little amusing. That this didn't used to be what happened to me. I didn't used to get invited to speak at international conferences or a conference. I didn't used to have stuff that I created, that I wrote, sold on eBay And I didn't used to have anybody care about me whatsoever to the point that they would bother with duplicating my profile on some social media platform. Well, apparently now I've arrived. All right, well, I'm starting to lose feeling in my fingers because it is chilly out here. And so I'm going to go back in the house now. And with that, I'll see y'all next time from my front porch.